Hello, and welcome. Today, we'll walk through how to create and set up a material library for your RE5 system. Before we get started, I'd like to share a few helpful tips. At any time while using RE5, you can press F1 or navigate to the Help tab and select Help Topics. This opens the built-in documentation, where you'll find step-by-step walkthroughs and detailed information on specific features and processes. If you ever need additional guidance while using RE5, this is an excellent resource to reference. Another useful feature is the parameter test, which helps you dial in the optimal settings for your materials. To access it, open the Tools tab and select Parameter Test. This feature allows you to generate a grid pattern with each row or column using different parameter values that you assign. By comparing the results, you can quickly determine the best settings for your material and use them when building your material library. Let's get started. There are several ways you can organize your material library. If you operate multiple laser systems with RE5, one common approach is to create separate folders for each laser source or machine type. This keeps your material settings organized and makes it easy to locate the correct parameters for each system. As long as you're signed in with the same email address and using the same computer, your material libraries and settings will automatically be available whenever you connect to the corresponding machine. This allows you to maintain a consistent workflow without having to recreate your material libraries for each system. Now, let's create our first material list. For this example, we'll create a folder named Metal. This folder will be used to organize all of our metal material settings, making them easy to find and manage as your library continues to grow. To set up a material, I'll begin by adding a simple logo from the built-in clipart library. This will give us a basic design to use while creating and testing our material settings. A material setting saves all of the parameters associated with a specific job. This includes your marking settings, such as power, speed, frequency, pulse width, and spacing, as well as additional options like gantry move to commands and other process-specific settings. Everything is stored together within a single material profile, allowing you to quickly recall the exact configuration whenever you need it. For this example, I'll configure the settings for a stainless steel deep engraving operation. This process typically requires high laser power, tight line spacing, and multiple passes to gradually remove material and achieve the desired engraving depth. Now that we've configured our settings, let's take a look at the metal folder. As you can see, there are currently no saved material profiles within this folder. To save your material, navigate to the bottom of the Layers panel and select Save Material. When prompted, enter a name for your material profile. For this example, we'll name it Stainless Steel Deep Engraving and select Save. As you can see, our stainless steel deep engraving material profile has now been successfully saved in the metals folder we created. This profile can now be selected at any time, allowing you to quickly load these settings without having to enter them manually. Next, let's create a material profile for aluminum engraving. For this example, we'll use settings that are better suited for aluminum. We'll reduce the laser power to a mid-range value, increase the marking speed for a faster process, and use a single pass. After adjusting the settings, select Save Material, then name the profile Aluminum Engraving. Look at that! Our material library is starting to come together. We now have several material profiles saved for different metal applications. Let's repeat the process by creating a new material list for wood. Select Create Material List, then name the new folder Wood. For this example, we'll create a profile for cutting birch plywood. Since this is a cutting operation, we'll use high laser power, slower cutting speeds, and disable infill, as only the vector outline will be cut. Once you've finished configuring your settings, select Save Material and give the profile a descriptive name. Choosing clear, consistent names will make it much easier to find the correct material in the future. For this example, we'll name the profile Birch Cut. Next, let's create another profile for birch engraving. I'll enable infill, adjust the marking parameters for an engraving operation, and then select Save Material. Finally, I'll name the new profile Birch Engraving. We now have a solid starting material library. Let me show you how easy it is to apply these saved settings to a new job. To demonstrate, I'll clear the current project and create a new square to simulate starting a fresh job from scratch. Under the Vector Parameters panel, Select Apply Material. First, choose the appropriate material folder, then select the specific material profile you want to apply. It's important to select the correct folder first, as only the material profiles stored within that folder will be available to choose from. Once selected, all of the saved parameters for that material will automatically be applied to your current layer. That concludes this tutorial on creating and using a material library in RE5. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next tutorial.